day by doing things in my special way. Hey, this is my YouTube show. Grab some alcohol and here we go. Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman.
There we go. Hola, senor. There is I, Senor Batman, and I am here with your week 4 and 5. Repa! Yeah, we're back, bitch. Guess who's back? It's Senor, you fucker. Come on now. Anywho, Senor's here. I missed last week. Don't like it? Here, right here's my dick. Suck it. All right? So that's what I'm going to tell you about that. But I'm here now, and I'm going to still do the wrap if I missed. I can't do the preview. They'd be disingenuous because I know the results. All right? So we will be back probably tomorrow or Friday with a week 6 preview show. But we're just going to do the wrap up for the day. We're going to try to split it up so we have a smaller video. I think the last one was 40 minutes long. I know no one in this day and age has the attention span to watch a 40-minute video with Senor Batman talking shit about a fantasy league. I just know it, okay? So let's get to the wrap-up. Hopefully this is all good to go. Boom, it's good to go. It's been a few weeks, so, you know, don't want to fuck it up. So first up, let's just start it off with the first matchup from week 4. We're going to start with week 4, obviously. Tinker McTinkerton versus I Am the Liquor. I Am the Liquor squeezes out a victory, 106.68 to 93.58. I mean, I say squeeze, but it's a 13-point victory. So, I mean, I guess it's not really squeezed. So, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Neither quarterback did diddly shit. But you know who did? Derek fucking Henry. 34.40 points. Just slapped the ass cheeks of Mr. Tinker McTinkerton. Beat the living shit out of him with 34 points. And then the other thing that kind of happened is really just this left column. You're going to see Mr. Tinker, you know, 12, 12, 9, 4, 4, 6, 19 from Gibbs. You know, you like to see that. Group A got him 7, 5 from the D. Like, just nothing flashy and splashy. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry goes beast mode on him in 34.4 points, like I said. The rest was kind of similar. He got 0 from Watson. I mean, he didn't, like, it's not like he had a crazy good week with 106. Kind of a shitty victory, but a victory is a victory. Nonetheless, he takes the win. Next up, Bohax Pitt versus Bijan Badness. And Bijan Badness, if I said the last one was a squeak, this is a squeaky squeak. Because it is less than a point. Less than point, shit, 2? 0.2 point, like, oh my god, 118.82 to 118.64. Bijan Badness gets the victory. I mean, there's really not a what's happened here because they both did very similarly. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Bijan just had just a little bit more eke to get out. Came down to Monday Night Football. Montgomery had the 14.5 points. That helps you. Collins had a big week for him. Jackson had a big week for him. That's what you like to see. Slay City Slayers continues to slay, 144.9. His victim in week 4, Bill Cosby with only 96.40. A very easy, calm victory for him. Probably no worry on his face. Both quarterbacks did about the same, which is shocking when Bill Cosby had C.J. Stroud, MVP candidate, and Sam Darnold is over here scoring just about the same for Mr. Lasky. So I don't know what to tell you there. So that's kind of what happened there is, you know, you had a quarterback that was drafted getting 27.5 and a quarterback that wasn't drafted getting 26.5. So that tells you what happens there. But Jaden Reed also went off, as well as Deontay Johnson with a great start. His kicker, Moody, did pretty good too. And then over here, I just want to point out Zay Flowers, 1.5 points. That ain't going to cut it, buddy. You take the loss. Slay City gets the victory. Next up, Here So I Don't Get Fined beats Putain They Do Flexiones in week 4, 109.74 to 98.12. What happened? Well, Jaden Daniels happened. He's still very good. And that he is really carrying that Putain du Flesh. Why does he have to make it so fucking long? He carried this team this week because he got nothing from Joe Mixon, who got ruled out right Sunday morning. Didn't switch him out in time. Takes the goose. Doesn't get fined, though, because he wasn't ruled out before Sunday. But then, to kind of counteract that, Devon Achane got hurt, and he left. So, actually, no, this week he didn't. This is, week 5 is when he got hurt. So, week 4, he just sucked. So, he only got 4.4 points. So, why did Mr. Here, so I don't get fined, where was the difference maker? CD, he's nuts with Mr. CD Lamb. 20.10 points. Goes absolutely bonkers, has a good week. And that is enough to get him a victory. Next up. You like that? No, I don't like that. I thought Cowboy Butts drove you nuts. And I thought you were rolling with it because you're like, fuck it. I love Cowboy Butts. And instead, you're a coward. And you changed your name to You Like That. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. You finally figured out your name was still the name that someone changed you to. That's fine. I like that you owned it for so long. I'll give you a reprieve. I won't hate you. I won't curse you. So 126.60 for Mr. You Like That? In high quality H2O, 117.22. Respectable score. But spoiler alert, not going so well for him this year. Anyhow, what happened? Well, Patrick Mahomes continues to be garbage and only get 15 points. At this point, is he even a every week start? I don't know. Anywho. But for Mr. High Quality H2O, James Cook didn't really do much. Mr. Michael Wilson didn't do much. Really his team did okay. Like, he did okay, but the difference was Alvin Kamara. What a wonderful play with 21.40 points. Mark Andrews goosed him, but you know who didn't? Ken Walker, 31.60 points. Absolutely decimating, 22 points from his defense. And that was the difference there. Last but certainly not least, McLovin lost to Dame Daniels, 123.98 to 102.28. What happened? Well, Caleb Williams did not have a good fantasy game despite winning the week, or winning his game in real life. But Joey Burrow, 20.28 points, went absolutely, had a really good week. I shouldn't say go crazy. Jordan Mason, excellent. Kyron Williams did pretty good. I mean, he had a pretty good score here. You can see 19 from Evans, Kyle Pitts goosed him over here. That probably did not help his winning chances. Najee Harris did just, the very bottom of okay, if you could call it that. 1.5 from Roman Dunze, and that was all she wrote for Daniels to get the victory. Moving on to week 5. I'm going to bounce in here real quick. Mr. Richard Pucci, who is Rick Pucci, who is I am the liquor. Haha, I love that. Senor still has the here comes the moose in his head and can't stop thinking about that whenever he reads here, so I don't get fined. So, yes, you're right. Here comes the moose. I gotta throw it somewhere. And then Mr. Galvanator 93, which is Mr. Damn Daniels, got the dub. Yes, you did in week 4. We'll see now if you got it in week 5. But let's start. We're going to start from the bottom because now we're here. So now let's do it here. McLovin versus You Like That? You Like That? I like Cowboy Butts better. But anyway, McLovin wins 103.16 to 93.4. Kind of similar to Mr. Pucci and Tinker's week game the week before. Just two kind of ugly scores, but one still has to win. McLovin is the one that gets the victory. Like I said, 103.16. Caleb Williams, 27.56 point. Big fantasy output. You like to see that. Justin Fields still had a good week, but not like Caleb Williams. Moving on. Any other, Chuba Hubbard had a decent week. Butker had a decent week. I mean, really, there's not much to say here other than just one player sucked a little less than the other. Moving on. High quality H2O versus Putain de Dos Flexiones. High quality H2O cannot catch a break. Only scores 86.46. And Putin, they do Flexiones 130.72. Great score. Jaden Daniels went off for him. DJ Moore went crazy. George Kittle had a great week for a tight end. Started Darnell Mooney on the big week. That's huge. That was clutch for him. And even Jordan Wayington had a great week for him. So that was pretty solid. So who screwed him over here? Well, his kicker got 0. That'll never help you. Only 15 from Purdy. That wasn't very Purdy. And, Algier only had 4. Even Justin Jefferson with only 12. That's not going to win you your week. Putain de du Flexiones takes the victory. All right. Here comes... I just did it again. Son of a bitch. We had Here So I Don't Get Fined against I Am the Liquor. 121.24 to 89.18. I Am the Liquor gets the victory. 121 points. A lot better than the score the week before when he scored shittily and barely won. But returns to form, 121.24. Huge week, a good week for him. Not a huge week, but a good week. Really want to point out here, though, is Here So I Don't Get Fined. Just having a terrible week. 89.18 points. That's not going to do it. That is going to screw you. So what happened? Well, HN, as I was saying for week 4, actually got hurt in week 5. 2.20 points. For some reason, he's still starting Zach Charbonnet. Maybe he doesn't have anyone better, but that only got him 4.5. CeeDee Lamb, only 8.9. Waddle, 6.6. You can just see no one steps up. His defense got 14 points. And other than Dak, that's his only 2, double-digit scoring play. Smith and... Oh, no, I'm wrong. There's other people. But anyway, meanwhile, I Am the Liquor. Josh Allen has kind of a game, but not as bad as the week before. Derrick Henry was having a game, but then ends up getting 16 because of one big run in overtime. That saved his ass a little bit. Bucky Irving, only 4.6. Michael Pittman, 12.2. Ayuk finally had his game, 18.70 points, 70 points. And Connor had a good week, but I don't really like my old hoe, but my young hoe Koo scored a lot of points, 18.40. What a score. Big week for a kicker, and he gets the victory. Next up, is this high score? Damn Daniels. 150.98. Highest score so far. Spoiler alert, it's not the high score. But anywho, 150.98 to Bill Cosby's 96.14. The second week in a row, he scored less than 100. Struggling over there in Bill Cosby land. But damn Daniels started slow and has just burst onto the scene, getting better every week. What happened? Well, Joey Burrow, 43.78 points. You like that? Holy shit. Big week. Big reason why he got those points. He also had a big week out of Mike Evans, 20.7, and 19 points from DeAndre Swift. Just going crazy. What happened on the other side? He just didn't do much. Chris Olave screwed him a little bit. Both his running backs got under 10. That's not going to help. C.J. Stroud only got 17. You don't like that. If you're Mr. Bill Cosby, you're probably looking for some solutions. You're probably trying to find something to spark this team. Next up, Slayers went up against Bijan Badness, and the Bijan Badness is more like the Bijan Madness because he keeps it going with another victory. 119.66 to 105.76. Big win from Mr. Bijan Badness against the top scoring team going into the week. So what happened? Well, Geno Smith, 24.56, outscored Jordan Love. So that's pretty interesting there. P. Ryan didn't do much, nor did Bijan Robinson. Trey Sermon did decent for Mr. Slay City. But really what it comes is Higgins had 2 touchdowns, 24.8 points. Deontay Johnson didn't really do shit against the Chicago Bears. That's a great defense. Raheed Shaheed scoring like crazy. 16.6 points, which is big for him because, if he doesn't score a long touchdown, he's basically fucking dog shit. So, you got to keep that in mind. So that's kind of what happened there. He just had a little bit better of a week few big boost weeks, and that helped them out. And then last but certainly not least, the actual high score. The actual 2 high score. So 150, that was the 3rd highest score. Despite being the highest score of the year before was 144, we had 3 people beat it this week, including Tinker McTinkerton after a sub 100 week comes back with a 182.74. I believe the 2nd highest score in league history. 182.70, at least in the sleeper era. We'll have to go to the record books eventually and find that out. But 182.70. And Mr. Bohax Pitt. These two men talking shit. OG's been there since day one. He scores 160.52. Valiant effort for him. You still like the points if you're him. But he takes the loss. I believe it's his 2nd in a row. So is he skidding here? We'll find out. But what happened? Well, for one, Lamar Jackson, 41.42 and 36.30 for Jamar Chase. But something to point out, Deebo Samuel, only 2.5 points. That ain't going to get it done, hun. And then you got 17.6 from Kyrie Fairbairn. 12 from his defense. That's pretty damn good. But over on this other side, 26 from Kyler Murray. 18 from Kareem Hunt. 13 from Tyrone Tracy. I'm pointing those two out for a specific reason because he does not have Gibbs or Barkley on this week. They were both on bye, so he had to start, 2 guys that were basically dart throws, and they both hit. Tyreek Hill, after a couple weeks of bad, at 9.9, but Drake London, 27. 22 from Garrett Wilson. 20 from Brian Thomas Jr. His kicker had 16.8. 16 from his defense. Just everything went right in this week for Mr. Tinker, and he gets the victory. His 2nd only of the season. So let's scroll down to the standings here. Your standings, your top 5 right now, locked in based on record are I Am the Liquor at 4-1, tied with Here So I Don't Get Fined for 4-1 as well. Both those teams are there, very close in points as well, about 12 points between the two of them. So that top spot is definitely not, no one's running away with it quite yet. Then you got 4 teams tied at 3-2. Stacey Slayer, Boaz Pitt, and Damn Daniels, they're in on record. And then Bijan Badness is at 3-2 as well. It's 6th place on standings, not by points. Because Tinker McTinkerton has the most points in the league with 653.78. So he'd have that 6th seed, but he has 2-3 currently. Tied with Putain de Deux Flexions. You like that? Bill Cosby and McLovin. And one team is just really sucking it up so far this year. 0-5. Mr. High Quality H2O. Something I do want to point out, though. He has had the most points scored against him. And it's by a decent amount. It's like more than you'd like to see. So, I mean, it's not a ton more, but it's enough more. He's also scored more than McLovin, almost as much as Bill Cosby. So, is he actually the worst team, or is he getting unlucky? That I cannot tell you one way or another. But let's get to the power rankings. There we are. So power rankings, if you don't remember, is set up. This is a record, your record, if you faced everyone every week. So if you had 11 matchups a week, this is what your record would be. Currently atop, best record in the league right now. So therefore the best team, because you would have won the most matchups in the, out of all those things. So there's been 5 weeks. That means you'd face 55 opponents. Thus 40-15 he is. So he's up top at 40-15. Second place is Bohax Pitt at 36-19. Then you got Tinker McTinkerton in third at 35-20. Damn Daniels is at 32-23 in fourth. Bijan Badness 30-25. You like that? 29-26 in sixth place. I Am the Liquor, who is the current league leader, is 7th. So if it's based on power rankings, Mr. Poochie Man, you would not be anywhere near the playoffs. You're a bottom half team. So pick up the pace, mister, because you're only 28-27. Granted, you're 1 win back from 6th place and 2 wins from 5th. So I won't give you too much shit, but got to pick that up. I'm actually tied with him is Putain de Deux Flexions at 28-27. Here So I Don't Get Fined, who is 2nd place right now, is 26-29. And then he's in 9th. Bill Cosby at 1936. McLovin at 1441. And High Quality H2O 1 win back at 13-42. So, just to kind of some interesting things there. The bottom three here are also the bottom three in the standings on the real standings. What's really interesting to me is that Here's So I Don't Get Fined and I Am the Liquor are currently first and second, and they're seventh and ninth respectively. That's kind of interesting. It makes you wonder. There's still a lot of time. Will they pick it up? Will they start scoring more points consistently and move their way up this power rankings chart? Or are they just maybe pretenders? I'm not saying they are. Senor's not passing judgment on you. I'm just saying, what's going on there? A little interesting. So, that is the show for today. We will be back later this week with the Week 6 preview show. And until then, I hope you enjoyed this wrap-up. Adios!